Welcome to battle number 5 of week number 5 of the FnF Victory Road Draft League Season 2. This battle is going to hit King Fuse's team, which is the Visionary Tricksters, versus Lion Hug's team, which is Florida Flesh Ribbons. Interestingly enough, we're talking about Flesh Ribbons, but there is no Sylveon in this battle. I think this might be the first or maybe second battle that Lion Hugs does not bring Sylveon. Additionally, we have King Fuse bringing Cloyster. Cloyster is going to be very, very intense in this matchup. I presume that's why Pyukumuku is here to come in and wall Cloyster after a Shell Smash. Otherwise, Cloyster can go to town and pretty much wipe out the rest of the team. Metagross still does have a chance to versus Cloyster after it Shell Smashes, but it's going to be an uphill battle from there. Additionally, we have Clefable and Mega Beedrill, some returning Mons that like to show up on King Fuse's team a lot. Interestingly, we also have Palossand and Toxapex, which can wall Volcarona if it does not have Psychic. So this is going to be an interesting match. Looks like King Fuse has both glass cannons and walls, whereas Lion Hugs overall has a more bulky team. Sableye is going to be very good at handling Toxapex, bouncing back Toxics, and not letting it do much. The two can't really do that much to each other unless Sableye has Taunt to prevent Toxapex from recovering. And Piloswine, it actually looks like it'll be really good in this matchup as well. It can handle, to an extent, Toxapex and Magnezone. Metagross as well, handling Mega Beedrill and Cloyster. So it looks like King Fuse is going to have to balance defending and attacking really well. Lion Hugs is going to be a little bit more of a bulky offense, kind of defending and attacking at the same time. So we'll see how this goes, and let's go ahead and begin. I think King Fuse is actually on BRB right now, so we might need to wait just a little bit longer. This is the first match that we see Lion Hugs use Volcarona. Volcarona, actually a Pokemon that I traded to Lion Hugs. It was one of the Pokemon that I really liked using in Season 1, but didn't seem to really fit with my team that much, honestly, in Season 2. So I'm really curious to see how Lion Hugs decides to use Volcarona. It does look like it can be very good in this matchup, as nothing resists fire except Toxapex, so Toxapex is really going to have to carry versus this Volcarona. I don't think I mentioned at the beginning, actually, the Mega Pokemon available in this battle are Mega Beedrill and Mega Sableye, respectively, and then the Z Pokemon available are Magnezone and Volcarona, respectively, both having Z attacking privilege. I think we might see a Metagross and Mega Beedrill lead, maybe a Cloyster lead before the rocks are set up. But I don't know, for some reason Metagross just seems like a good lead. Maybe Magnezone to trap Metagross and try and kill it with Hidden Power Fire, although it is risky due to the fact that Metagross has Earthquake. Piloswine could actually also be a decent lead, being able to take a hit from Mega Beedrill. It doesn't want to take a knockoff, but Mega Beedrill is not going to want to stay around to knock off it. Piloswine looks like it'll be pretty good in this matchup. So King Fuse is back, but it looks like he got disconnected. So we might have to wait a little bit longer, I'm very sorry. I'll tell you a heartwarming story while we wait. My Hypno plushie came in the mail today. Hypno plushie 1 of 3. Hypno plushie is currently sitting on my lap while I commentate. I also had some Hypno cards coming in. I'm very excited for Season 3, where I get to be Hypno's Clown School. Lion Hug saying the suspense is killing them. Okay, looks like King Fuse is back. Let's get this show on the road and see who the leads are. Mega Beedrill indeed is the lead, and Polo the Piloswine is the other lead. One Earthquake might be enough to take down Beedrill. Risky with knockoff there, but if Lionhugs could take down Beedrill, that will set immense momentum for them. And there's not really a good switch-in, I'd say, to Mega Beedrill. Sableye in its Mega form maybe, but not in the regular form. Even resisted hits will do pretty big damage. The big question is, does Beedrill go for the U-turn or Poison Jab? For the U-turn, really. Or does it go for the knockoff to try to remove that Eviolite from Piloswine? Piloswine, if it goes for the knockoff, it's basically sacrificing itself. There are also no safe switches to Earthquake, so Piloswine can have a field day using Earthquakes without fearing anything. Without fearing anything resisting it. Nothing resists its Earthquake even. So Piloswine will be very valuable in Earthquaking a lot of things. If I'd have to guess, I think Lionhugs is thinking, do I want to get rid of that Eviolite just to kill Mega Beedrill? It looks like it's going to be a no. Goth Corsola comes out to take that knockoff. Down go those leftovers. Goth Corsola will struggle versus Poison Jab and U-turn without that leftovers. King Fuse really wanted to get rid of that Eviolite from Piloswine. The U-turn's going to hit pretty hard, dealing 45% to Goth Corsola, who could then shrug it off with a recover. And Palosand is going to be the one to come in, and Soak allows Palosand to lose its typing, but Goth Corsola is very vulnerable right now. Recover might not work if Palosand can get an Earth Power off. Or Shadow Ball. Palosand might actually go for the Stealth Rock, who knows. Maybe now that it's Water type, it might not do enough to Goth Corsola, and Goth Corsola will be able to recover, but it's really hard to tell. Goth Corsola is in a bind, and I think that Lionhugs really needs to keep Goth Corsola in order to take on Cloyster, but we'll see. There are still tricks that Lionhugs can use if they lose Goth Corsola, but Cloyster is going to be a lot more of a menace, especially if Stealth Rock aren't up to deal with. Palosand is now mono water. Piloswine is going to come in to take the Earth Power. It doesn't do that much damage. Yeah, Pyukumuku being so low on HP is really risky. Iron Defense, though, is going to allow Palosand to increase its defensive capabilities. That's actually a really good strategy versus Piloswine. Piloswine is going to have a really hard time breaking through it right now. And it's Water type, which is a really nice defensive type. Toxic is probably going to have to be the move used on Palosand to take it down now. Scrabyota, the Sableye, comes out, and Iron Defense is used once again. Its defense is pretty high now. Scrabyota is now able to Mega Evolve, though, which is good for Lionhugs, as it will now be a good switch into Mega Beedrill. Iron Defense is a really interesting gimmicky play on Palosand. And Scrabyota is going to take very, very low damage from that Earthquake. Will-O-Wisp is going to additionally miss. Iron Defense one more time puts Palosand at max defense, but it is now burned. And the Shadow Ball is not going to do that much damage. Knockoff is also going to remove leftovers from Palosand. It's going to be a slow burn, but Palosand does have access to Shore Up, so This is going to take quite a while, probably. Palossand just going for these weak moves. Nightshade going to bring it down to 50%, but we might see the Shore Up next turn. Indeed we do. Shore Up is used and Recover is used. So this is going to be a little bit of a stall fest. I think that Lion Hugs could probably switch to something else right now, try to set up and maybe go for something that will let them deal a little more damage. Maybe try to set up. Pyukumuku is going to come out and a Shadow Ball is going to hit, dealing 11%. One more Shadow Ball might be enough to take down Goth Corsola the Pyukumuku. That would be pretty devastating for Lion Hugs, considering, yep, Earth Power takes down Pyukumuku. Cloyster is going to be a monster now. How will Lion Hugs handle Cloyster? Giving Palossand Water typing actually might have screwed over Lion Hugs a little bit, considering Kingdra is going to have a harder time taking Palossand, but Kingdra is the one to come out still. Hurricane Andrew to the Kingdra. It can go ahead and set up. It does set up a Rain Dance. Shadow Ball is going to do little damage. Kingdra does have leftovers though. Kingdra's now speedy with that Rain Dance up, if it has Swift Swim, that is. Kingdra might go for a Draco Meteor, maybe. Rain is up, but what will Kingdra do to this Palossand to try and take it down? That is the question. Palossand actually giving these physical attackers a really tough time. That Iron Defense is really coming in clutch, and the fact that it's mono water now is actually kind of good for it. Yeah, Ice Beam barely does any damage considering the fact that it is mono water, but Earthquake is going to do a little bit of hefty damage. It's going to be up to a Draco Meteor, I think, to take it down. Another Ice Beam. I'm wondering why Kingdra's going for the Ice Beam instead of using Draco Meteor. Really strange. They're going to continue trading weak hits. A Hydro Pump's not going to do a lot of damage though, and Shore Up just lets Palossand recover some more HP. Yeah, Lion Hugs really... That Soak actually really ruined a lot of Lion Hug's capability of offensive pressure, and because Sylveon's not here, wishing Kingdra is not an option. I think the best choice at this point is to go for maybe some Quiver Dances with Volcarona. It looks like Palossand is taken down to 29% because Hydro Pump hits pretty hard, but now Kingdra's going to have to decide if it wants to set up Rain Dance again or go for a Hydro Pump. Hydro Pump actually might not kill without Rain. Palossand is sitting pretty comfortably. The Hydro Pump is what Kingdra decides to use. It misses, and Shore Up is going to restore Palossand a little bit more. Yeah, at this point it's going to be really tough. I think Volcarona has to come out. Problem with that is that if it doesn't have Psychic, Toxapex can just haze it and not care. Tough position for Lionhugs to be in right now with this absolute wall of a Palossand with water typing, which is a really hard typing for them to take down right now, and burned so it can't be toxicked. I'm guessing Kingdra doesn't have Draco Meteor then. It really odd. I wonder why. Maybe it has Flash Cannon to take on Fable. And Florida Moth, the Volcarona, does come out now. Shadow Ball is going to do a little bit of damage. Volcarona is now free to set up a Quiver Dance if it so chooses. Or go for a Giga Drain too. And I think Lionhugs just wants this Palossand down. Cloyster is a huge threat to Volcarona though, having its own ability to set up a Shell Smash. And then outspeed and KO it with Rock Blast. So it's going to be a tough decision. We might see Palossand switch out now. It is enjoying its water typing, but it won't enjoy it if Florida Moth brings Giga Drain. Even a Bug Buzz might hit pretty hard. Seems like Florida Man, the Blacephalon was replaced with Florida Moth, the Volcarona. But Sableye comes out. Strange. I'm not understanding what Lionhugs is trying to do right now. Volcarona could have just gone for a Quiver Dance. Scrabyota is out now, taking these weak special hits. Nightshade is going to do reasonable damage, but like we saw earlier, Palossand does have Shore Up, and that burn damage doesn't really do much. Scrabyota is just going to keep Nightshading it. It looks like we're going to try and get Shore Up used up. We have PP stall yet again. Why does this happen? And Confuse is gonna watch this and be like, yes, I love this. Some more weak hits are exchanged. This is gonna take a while. Lionhugs just trying to wear down this Palossand to the point that it uses up all its shore-ups. One thing that Scrabyota does have to be careful of is the fact that Shadow Ball and Earth Power do have a chance to lower special defense. Actually, I don't know about Earth Power, but Shadow Ball does. So that's something also to keep in mind. The Shadow Balls and Earth Powers keep coming. And Nightshade is going to hit Palossand down, but Palossand's probably going to shore up. And Volcarona comes out, predicting that shore up to come in and maybe start sweeping with Quiver Dance. But Fable having Unaware is also something to keep in mind with Volcarona and Quiver Dance. The thing is that, like, Volcarona can take down a lot of things if given the chance, but it all depends on its moveset. If it has Quiver Dance and Psychic, then Toxapex isn't going to be a big deal. And it might be able to power through Clefable as well, despite the fact it has Unaware. But it all depends on if Volcarona has Psychic or not. But Flordemoth is going to go for that setup now. Special defense raised is also going to mean that Earth Power doesn't do that much damage. Palossand might want to switch out now, but Flordemoth just keeps going for that setup. This looks like the tone of the battle could really start shifting soon. Toxapex might come in to try and haze Volcarona, but that still shifts the tone of the battle enough to the point that Palossand isn't going to be a water type with a bunch of defense anymore. Looks like Palossand is just sitting comfortably, still going. Flordemoth is comfortable just setting up some more. If Volcarona has Roost, then this is going to be really hard for King Fuse to take down, especially considering the fact that rocks are up. It is now faster than Cloyster even after a Shell Smash too. Flordemoth goes for the Bug Buzz, down goes Palossand. The score is 5-5, and Palossand, the evil, has finally been defeated. And now Toxapex is pretty much the mandatory switch in. Yep, Toxapex comes in. Is Psychic there to take down Toxapex, though? Undoubtedly, we will see a haze, I'm guessing at least. Flordemoth could get a big hit in despite that, but it's going to depend. If it has Psychic, I think Lion Hugs won this game. But if it doesn't have Psychic, then no. We'll just have to see. Volcarona also has Z-move. It does have the Z-move. It's going to go for the Inferno Overdrive that does massive damage to Toxapex. Toxapex goes for the Scald and not the Haze, so this could actually be the game. Volcarona might go ahead and just sweep through this team now. Talk about 0 to 100 tone shift. Yeah, a Flamethrower will definitely be enough to take down Toxapex at this point. Clefable's the one to come in instead. Flamethrower does pretty big damage, 50%, and Clefable's burned. The burn is going to do some damage. This is definitely an unaware Clefable, but now Clefable is taken down by one more Flamethrower. That was not a very fortunate switch-in for King Fuse. Clefable could take 2 hits, but only if it's not switched in like that. It's going to protect to scout out that Flamethrower. It looks like Flamethrower is the move that Lion Hugs decides to stay using. Toxapex does have Regenerator though, so it can somewhat be used. I don't know how King Fuse will bring this back, because even though it's switched in, it'll still be compromised, and Stealth Rock is going to do a little bit of chip damage too, so combined with Flamethrower, that might be enough. But Clefable's going to go down. Toxapex might be the next Pokemon to come in, and he might just keep restoring that HP on Toxapex. Cloyster comes out. It will be taken down by a Flamethrower, especially with that speed on Flordemoth. Indeed, a Flamethrower is enough to take down Cloyster. There are 3 more Pokemon. Toxapex is sent in next with some more HP due to Regenerator, but will it be enough to take a Flamethrower? It is not enough, and Toxapex also goes down. Magnezone is sent out. Flamethrower will probably be its demise as well. And indeed it is. Magnezone goes down to the Flamethrower, and the last Pokemon to come in is Mega Beedrill. With a final Flamethrower, Volcarona is able to sweep through the team. This is a 5-0 victory for Lion Hug's team. Florida Flesh Ribbons using Volcarona as the sweeper over King Fuse's team, which is the Visionary Tricksters. That match went from negative 100 to 100. That Palossand stalling out with the iron defense and being soaked was... oh my gosh, I wanted to pull my hair out. But it really picked up once Volcarona started to sweep. I think King Fuse really wanted to keep that water typing and keep Palossand in, but once Volcarona starts powering up, you gotta switch to Toxapex and use Haze. Otherwise, Volcarona is just gonna sweep through the team as we saw. But still, really interesting match, even if the stall was kind of killer to commentate. Really, really interesting match and really good showing from both sides. Stay tuned for some more Week 7 matches coming. They will be coming pretty soon. Until then, this is Noel from Sun and Friendly.